Be warned, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Outer Wilds is a puzzle game of cosmic proportions. It doesn't take place in some house or on an island. No, you're given an entire solar system to explore. You even have everything to solve this game's mystery at the very beginning. There's just one thing holding you back. Knowledge. Fellas, I once stood on the same threshold as you. I chose to enter the solar system, knowing absolutely nothing, getting lost, and eventually piecing together one of the richest and strangest worlds I've ever explored. Now I can't go back. I'm tainted, stuck with all this knowledge I'd love to forget. This is your final chance. Are you still here? Good, that's probably for the best. Trust me, you don't really want to explore this place on your own. I'm just going to tell you right now, we hate this fish. Yes, you and me. We hate it. You don't need to know why. We're gonna hate it. So life started out on Tutorial Planet, a world that teaches you the game. I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of in the name. My initial goal was to get some launch codes and leave the planet, and that's what I did. Well, tried to do, but this weird statue sucked me. Oh God. Sucked my memories. I didn't know it yet, but this lovable statue had done me a favour that we'd find out about later. Instead, I learned that this statue was actually built by some aliens called the Nomai. Yes, we were not alone in the galaxy. In fact, the Nomai were a highly advanced species. I was pretty excited to meet them. Oh, they're all dead. And have been for a while? Yes, we were the only space explorers in the solar system. At least I had some handy-dandy translator to read the words they left behind. I'm not sure how smart these fellows can be when they've just put squiggles on a wall and called it writing. After the sucking, it was finally time to explore. Now, a sane man would explore their existing world, you know, get the lay of the land before venturing out into the unknown. But me? I'm ballsy as fuck. I didn't need any help. A helper's manual was beneath me. I was now a man, an adventurer ready to explore the great unknown. I mean, the game's practically covered in prompts. Do you even need to know how to fly in this game? Autopilot will just take me to every planet. I don't even know how to do... Wait, no! No, it does! A wonderful first lesson. Do not trust the autopilot. It may say pilot, but it's actually autopiloting you straight to the afterlife. Well, that would normally be the case, but that's where my lovely little statue came in. Thanks to its sucking, I was brought back to life. Right at the very moment I got the launch codes, I was now free to explore the solar system again. The solar system's a pretty interesting place. It had 5 planets, 2.5 moons, a meteor, and a sun right in the middle of it all. It might sound like a lot to explore, but I had some goals that'll guide me through this journey. Like, the first one's pretty obvious. I'm immortal. How can you be immortal? How is this even possible? The other one is just, where the hell did those aliens go? I mean, they should be immortal too, right? How did they all die? Now, you'd think those goals had set me on a path to success, but I got distracted instantly. What the hell was that? My first stop took me to Giant's Deep. Well, it was actually a station around Giant's Deep. Whatever it was, smashed right through the entire base, and now it was just a floating bundle of shrapnel. It looked like some of it was still working, but to get there, I need to overcome my first greatest hurdle. 0G flight. Oh God, I don't like this. Oh no, come back! I don't like that! Once I got inside, I found this little stone slab, popping it into this pedestal. What the? Yeah, I was too scared to use that and decided to use the slabs on a wall instead. It revealed some writing, which said I was standing in the broken husk of an orbital probe. I didn't know who or what they were probing, but since they're aliens, I'm not even sure I really want to know. They're my lovable aliens, right? They wouldn't do that, right? Thankfully, the other slab fixed my suspicions. They were just searching for some eye. Crisis averted. In fact, they were feeling a little bit frisky about this eye. Count me interested. The room next door revealed that they're actually talking about the universe's eye. What the hell does that even mean? Is there just a big giant eye floating in space? Speaking of big eyes, I did take a small detour to Giant's Deep. I mean, you'd think it'd have giants, but no giants, just giant tornadoes. From sucking to blowing, this game has it all. After that, I went flying around a little more to get used to using the ship, but something weirdly caught my eye. I honestly thought I was going crazy. Fella, does that look different? I knew it. Fellas, you can't deny it anymore. Look how red it is. It's absolutely massive. In my infinite wisdom, I'd spotted that the sun had been changing, getting stronger, more angry looking. It basically had doubled in size, and this is normally kind of a bad sign. What's going on with my son? My son, what are you doing? Oh! Oh no! Now, as a man of science, I too had read the textbook once or twice in my life and was quite the expert on this topic. Suns have layers. No stage. It starts as a lovely harmless yellow sun. After billions of years, it runs out of hydrogen and starts turning helium into carbon and becomes a big red fella. Once it makes enough carbon, it becomes too heavy and goes boom. Supernova. Isn't that right, Neil?
What happens if you're just a fish swimming in the water and then someone captures you?
Thanks, Neil. You understand me in ways nobody else could. Over the next few lives, I did some more testing, exploring, burning marshmallows on the starting campfire, and eventually always dying to that stupid pretty supernova. At the end of each life, I'd always managed to learn something new about the world. I was like a sponge, and this world was like another sponge, but more liquid-like and absorbable. Sleeping at the starting campfire taught me that the cycle was around 20 minutes. I was a 20-minute man, stuck in a 20-minute Groundhog Day. That jammy bastard at least got a full day, but me? No. Mine wasn't even long enough to finish my Neil podcast.
And this snapping, it's a very complicated...
Brittle Hollow is an interesting little planet with a rather interesting secret. Holy shit! It was housing an entire black hole right in its center. In fact, as the loop goes on, it slowly eats the planet from the inside. You'd think nobody'd be dumb enough to live here, but... Rebecca, big fella, there's a black hole downstairs. Do you think this is the safest place to be staying? I don't think so. Rebecca turned out to be a guitarist and explicitly told me not to go anywhere near that black hole. Yeah, I jumped into the black hole. You can't just tell me not to do something. Surprisingly, it was more like a wormhole than a black hole. Sure, it was destroying Brittle Hollow, but if you twist it and then reverse it, it's just relocating the planet to the edge of space. You could think of it as a planet mover, a highly destructive but efficient moving service. It's actually not too different from most real companies. While floating in space, I found an actual building already floating here. Turns out, I'm not the only idiot to fall into this black hole. It must have happened so often because they even installed a teleporter right back. Lucky me. Oh wow, that actually worked. Apparently, I'd somehow gotten back to Brittle Hollow earlier than I'd left, but I didn't think of it much at the time. I mean, they'd built an entire time machine, so this discovery kind of pales in comparison. I learnt about the existence of a quantum moon, but to find out more about this moon, I needed to enter a tower of knowledge. You little tease, you know what you're doing. The gravity floor was broken, so I couldn't go in there yet. I needed to find another way into this tower, but thanks to my impeccable IQ, this was a proud moment for me. I'd managed to piece together that the tower would be eaten by the black hole and eventually end up in space. But honestly, I didn't understand anything in that tower. What the hell's a quantum moon? They all just kept wishing me farewell on my journey. Thanks, fellas, but I was in a bit of a rush reading all this since the sun was blowing up. I did manage to find out that the moon ran around planets and you needed to go to the North Pole to get to a sixth one. Oh, I was still reading that. The interloper was a little meteor that was flying about in space. It was covered in ice, but when it got near the sun, it let me inside. It was a cozy little place. Well, except for... Warning, ghost matter? So that's gonna kill me, right? Yes, James, Tutorial Island would have told you this if you paid attention. It's invisible to the eye, but the little scout can detect it. I didn't know any of this at the time, though. Through absolute sheer luck, I managed to jump through the right hole and progress even deeper. This gave me the complete wrong idea on ghost matter. All I need to do is avoid these little rocks. I was so wrong. What the hell? Ember Twin, not to be confused with its ashy twin, Ash Twin. These planets have a weird symbiotic relationship. Contrary to the name, Ash Twin is covered in sand, and as the loop progresses, it slowly dumps sand all over the clean and sandless Ember Twin. There's just so much sand everywhere. Don't get caught in that little sandy vortex because you're gonna have a bad time. Ember Twin had a lot going on. It had a little explorer playing the bongos. Wait, you've seen the supernovas? You're immortal too? We can't have that, can we? A rock which was there sometimes and sometimes not. Weird. And this big cannon. Fellas, I'm not gonna lie, I love the idea of this big cannon. I even put my ship on it, but... So, I just put this... What? But what's death to an immortal man? That's right, nothing. Not gonna lie, fellas, at some point I started to get very nonchalant about life and death. Any minor inconvenience meant a little trip to the big old yellow ball of fire... plasma. I got told off for calling it fire last time. It's fine. I was gonna wake up again. My guy doesn't feel pain. I think. The major discovery on this planet was actually a city. But to get there, I need to go through this cave. Okay, this time, I'm gonna be sure I avoid the rocks. Yeah, some things you just need to learn the hard way, I guess. Okay, I lied. There was actually another route through this crash site cave. What crashed, do you ask? Well, this big ship. It was one of 3 escape pods in the solar system. I only knew where 2 of them were, but this one put me on the right path to the Sunless City. This city had 4 districts. I'd like to say this place was easy to explore, but no. The sand just fills up the entire place. I hate it. I wasted so many loops trying to get into the high energy lab just to find out. Wait! I need to wait in this stupid sand pit! The devs must have just been laughing at me. The lab was pretty fun. It had these little warp cores on the wall which let me generate a black and a white hole. Firing a scout inside basically confirmed that teleporting was actually time travel. The more power you add, the more the time distortion is. I didn't do this in my playthrough, but you can actually break the game in this area. You just have to remove the slab before the scout enters, and it breaks space-time. It took a greater mind than mine to think of that. The city itself gave me more information about my immortality machine. Apparently the only way they could get enough power was by building a sun station. It's a little thing that went around the sun really fast. I tried multiple times to visit it, but yeah. The Stepping Stone district just led to this big dead fish. In this area, I learned that the fish come from the dark Bramble, and they're actually blind. Yeah, there's absolutely no chance I'm going there. The Eye District was an interesting place. It kind of shifted my entire view on these friendly little aliens in this eye of theirs. Wait, are these fellas zealots? These crazy bastards were trying to find the center of the universe all this time. Not only were they trying to find it, they're worshipping it. I once thought of them as little friendly explorers, but are we dealing with the Space Inquisition right now? Have I been getting all friendly with a literal fucking cult? No, surely not, right? I mean, sure they worship the center of the universe, but they taught me quite a bit. There must have been some sort of reason. Ash Twin takes a while to explore. You need to wait for the sand to disappear, but eventually it reveals all of these towers. They were all teleport platforms, and the high energy lab revealed that they all look like what you're warping to. It all made perfect sense. Tutorial Island, Giant Steep. Weirdly, this black hole forge surprised me the most. I didn't see it at all on Brittle Hollow. Although, to be honest, I hadn't really explored much of Brittle Hollow. I bet you can't imagine why. Huh? No! Oh, God damn, you stupid bastard! I've just made it back! I hate you, black hole! That black hole's a pain in the arse. The forge held some good information on teleporters and even the location of the Ash Twin project, the actual source of my immortality. I needed to find and protect this place, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I tried waiting for all the sand to clear, but there was nothing. I felt like I'd explored all the towers properly. I even tried the middle two, but based on what I was told, they looked like they didn't go anywhere. There was just a dead guy on the floor. What the hell is this telling me? It's gonna send me to hell. Well, it was kind of right, because I got sucked right out the ceiling. You can call me foolish, but I didn't come back here ever again. Giant Steep was a planet of water and tornadoes. It had this little guy playing a flute, and some information about a statue island. The island gave me more information about the Ash Twin project. I wasn't being revived. My memories were being sent back in time, so technically, none of this has ever happened, because they're just memories that are playing out in the mind of future me, who's remembering current me's actions. I chose not to think about this too much. The Dark Bramble, I just learned I hate this place. You all know why. We hate them. It's a place of dimensions, roots and seeds everywhere. Some are big, some are small, but they all lead to this giant fucking misty room. I would have loved this planet to be completely pointless, but no. This is where I met the lovely guy called Feldspar, you little bastard. You better have something good to say. He did. In fact, he actually knows how to venture deeper into Giant Steep, but the little bastard wants to be a tease and didn't tell me. Don't you know the sun's blown up about 30 times already? Just give me some sort of clue. Instead, he told me to just go towards his broken ship where I'd discover something interesting. The ship just led me to this giant jellyfish with notes telling me how it was useful to avoid electricity. Feldspar, how's this going to be helpful? I haven't seen a single jellyfish on that planet. What are you doing here? At this moment, I wasn't too happy. The man was not very helpful at all. I'd only seen tornadoes in this big wind wall below the water. There wasn't even a single jellyfish in sight. Fellas, you're never gonna guess how I found out how to go deeper. Oh! Yeah, I was back on Brittle Hollow when a little rift had saved me from falling into the black hole again. Following the path, it led me to a new area I hadn't explored yet. This was just an observatory, which held the exact piece of information I needed. So Giant Steep has tornadoes, right? Well, as it turns out, not all of them go clockwise and shoot you out into space. Some. Oh! There they are! There's the jellyfish I need! It took me a few tries to realise this, but I couldn't put my ship in a jellyfish. Yes, I'm dumb. Under the electrical barrier was some routes and a new base. Inside, I was able to learn more about the orbital probe cannon. It was actually hooked up to the same time-traveling machine as me, so every time there was a loop, it would fire a new probe. In fact, I was a bit of an idiot since the probe was destroying itself every loop, and I hadn't even noticed. You see it every single time. Fellas, we've looped a lot more times than I thought we did. How many times have I died? The last thing the base showed me was these coordinates. Great! I now knew where the eye of the universe was. I mean, what the hell was I even supposed to do with these? Now, fellas, it's probably a good time to point out, I've just been running off into the emptiness of space, letting the wind, or, well, the vacuum of space guide me around. I had no plan or even an idea of what I was doing. I just went to a place that took my fancy. Little did I know, every time I learned something, ship log. Okay, you've updated, like, thank you for updating my ship log, that's very helpful. Well, James, yes, it actually does track all of the information you've found out, and gives you little hints about where to go. You could have used this earlier to actually go to the proper places, but no. You just be getting lost in the vacuum of space and hoping it all works out. So when exploring with a bit more purpose, and this was when the whole confusing story started to piece together, the Interloper held yet more secrets. In fact, it held one of the biggest secrets in the entire game. Through sheer skill, intelligence, or maybe just luck, I finally managed to discover that the scout can see the deadly ghost matter which is needed to navigate this place. When I finally made it to the center of the meteor, I actually found some Nomai. I mean, they were dead, but they left me a little recorder which held a bombshell. This is orders of magnitude worse than I'd imagined. If this stone were to rupture, the lethal matter inside would rapidly expand, completely blanketing the star system almost instantaneously. The pressure's gonna build as the comet approaches the star system. Oh my aliens died! This meteor had killed all of the Nomai. You heard that right. They're basically the dinosaurs of the galaxy. I can't believe something so advanced died to a little rock in space. They're supposed to be highly advanced. Could they just divert it? Even we can do that, right, Neil?
We got top people working on deflection scenarios right now.
Oh, that was actually helpful. Thanks, Neil. You know when I'd said I checked all the towers on Ash Twin? I was actually wrong. There was a secret teleporter hidden behind all these weird, stupid cactuses. Nah! Please! No, I can't get through this. Once I'd finally stopped dying to the prickly menace and stepped onto the teleporter, I found myself in the Sun Station. But this place held a secret I didn't even want to know about. It actually shook me to my very core. You know when I said this place was just here to collect power? Well, that wasn't the whole story. These crazy bastards want to blow up the sun! This might have been the final straw. Finally, my whole view on the aliens was shattered. I was actually kind of happy they all died to the space rock. They had no morals, no care for anything but knowledge, progress, and this stupid eye. The Twin Ash project didn't just need power. It needed the power of an exploded sun for a whole measly 20 minutes. I actually thought they kept blowing up the sun every loop. New goals, stop them from blowing up the sun, find this stupid eye they love so much, and end this evil Groundhog Day. My immortality was tainted. Oh, the Sun Station failed? Well, they still tried, those evil bastards! Okay, 2 goals then. My first idea was the Quantum Moon. I already knew it had the 6th place, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to get on it. In it? Quantum Moon, we finally meet. I always knew I'd find you eventually. Where did it go? So this whole time, the game's been teaching me, quantum things move if you aren't looking at them. Since it went into the cloudy moon, I lost sight of it and it disappeared. Did I know any of this? Or did I just try flying into the moon faster? Let's go! Whoa, wait. Oh no! Not my finest moment. Exploring some more taught me my scout observing actually counts towards the rule too. Armed with that knowledge, I'd finally be able to visit them. Ha! We meet again, but you can't trick me this time. I've took a little picture, you got no chance this time. When I didn't pelt into the planet at full speed, I was finally able to take in my surroundings. The place was pretty unappealing, but it did have one thing going for it. Everything liked to pop in and out of existence, like this building. It had all these labels of planets and an arrow pointing to where I was. Messing around with some buttons revealed I could make the room pitch black, which let me travel from planet to planet. I even saw the eye. I'd love to say this was a wonderful success, but God damn you stupid rock. I finally remembered I needed to be on the North Pole to have any chance of exploring around. I did have a couple of dumb failed attempts, but eventually the puzzle was pretty simple. Just try every planet and brute force. Strategically make your way to the North Pole. Once I got there, I used the building, and now I was at the eye of the universe. Well, The quantum moon nearby the eye of the universe. Oh, look who it is! Mr. I want to kill everybody in the solar system. You little bastard, you better have some good information. Yes, I finally met the evil race that is the Nomai. I honestly expected to see horns. I was able to ask them some questions using rocks, but I didn't trust them one bit. You want to be my friend? No chance. I know what you sick bastards are doing. It's just a sneaky way for me to join your cult. You can't capture my mind. My mind's a fortress. After speaking to him for a while, it basically confirmed to me that they were completely locked into loving this eye. The moon actually copies the planet it's orbiting, but it currently looks like crap. I honestly didn't understand. I just gave up, left, and found them dead on the floor. Good. I was no closer to the eye, but I did have one more lead. Remember when I said I'd found 2 of the 3 escape pods? Well, I went searching for the last one, and it pointed me to my favourite place in the entire galaxy. That's right, the Dark Bramble. I love this place. Following the distress signal, I was able to find the final escape pod, and it mentioned something interesting. A vessel. All this time, I'd never given it a thought. These escape pods actually came from a bigger ship. That IQ's really showing, isn't it? The Nomai from this escape pod ran out of resources and actually attempted to get back to the vessel, but got tricked by this place. It was only a little seed, you can't go through those. Only my little scout could fit, and when it did... Wait, what the... Is that the vessel? That's right, my scout had found the vessel, and all I needed to do was follow it. The only problem was, to get to it, I needed to go through. Oh no, please, I don't want to go in there. Needless to say, I wasn't too excited to venture into this red seed. As you could probably guess, it didn't go too well. I'm still traumatized. No. What do you mean? I haven't even done it. I hate these stupid fish. No, not again. Please let me get past. How the fuck you do it? Wait, I think I've done it. You don't you dare look at me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh my god. I think I've done it. I think I can go. Wait, no, please. We hate them. After enough trial and error, I'd finally done it. I'd made it through this hell and got into the vessel. Yes, I'm here. Finally. That was painful. I hate those fish so much. I can actually go out and... Oh, no! So at the start of the loop, you don't start with a spacesuit on. You actually need to put it on every run. And this time, I've forgotten to. It had happened quite a few times already, but this one actually made me quit the game for an entire day. I couldn't deal with it. With a cool mind and an actual suit, I'd finally made it back to the vessel again. Well, I say cool. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Don't you even look at... The vessel was a major turning point in my entire playthrough. I finally found out what was really going on. Turns out, the whole universe was dying. Yes, not just my sun, but all the stars in the universe were blowing up. We were in the end of days. The Nomai were trying to group together at the edge of space to try and survive. But this one single ship got a message from the eye of the universe. Rather than warp into safety, they rushed straight after the signal, which led them here. This hell. Is this eye the worshipping even good? Led them straight to the death? They had the location wrong, but me. I had the real coordinates, and this ship had a way to get there. Did these bastards lie to me? Oh, it's because of this. Never mind. I take it back. Their warp core was destroyed by the Dark Bramble, but if I could get a working one, I'd be able to warp to the eye. Finally, I now had a plan, a concrete plan. I needed to get to the Death Seed in Dark Bramble, shoot my scout, find my scout in the vessel, grab the broken warp core, take it back to the Black Hole Forge, fix the container, take it to the energy lab, make a new complete warp core, and then put it in and go to the eye. It was that simple. But, fellas... What? Where the hell do I fix this? What am I supposed to do with this? I was so wrong. I don't know what the hell was going through my mind. I mean, the high energy lab does have warp cores, but I wasn't even remotely close to what I had to do. It was the most convoluted thing I could have ever thought of. You'd never guess the real solution. Or maybe you already know because you played the game. With nowhere else to turn to, I finally did it. I went back to Ash Twin. This was the only mystery I hadn't figured out yet. I waited on the cover while the sandy vortex passed over me, and that's when it happened. You've got to be kidding me. Yes, in this same loop, I figured all of this out. This entire time, the Ash Twin project was accessible using this middle tower. There was just one problem. Fuck the writing! No, I've got to get it! I've got to get the core! I'm finally here! It's time to get it! No, please! It won't let me pick the core up now! Yeah, the sun blew up. At least now, I knew what I needed to do. It was actually so much simpler than my original plan. The vessel, the warp core, the coordinates. I was ready for my final journey. I went back to the Ash Twin project with more time and found myself. I briefly spoke to myself, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like him. There can't be two me's. How fucking dare he copy me? Finally, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I've got it. I've got the core. Oh god, I'm not a mortal anymore. Yes, this was the time. I was finally vulnerable. For the first time, I was actually scared to die. Fortunately, I'd done this part so many times, I honestly think I could do it blindfolded. I didn't, but I could have. Once I'd made it back to the vessel, I could finally enter the coordinates and... Holy... So this is what they wanted? It all makes sense now! Oh my god! I take it all back! No, I take it all... I'd come around. I now understood their obsession. All this time I'd been doubting them. But I think we can all agree, as eyes go, this one ranks pretty high up there. Once I'd warped onto the island, I get to experience this new weird world. It was all a bit overstimulating. Quantum trees and rocks were just flying about everywhere. I tried firing my scout to see if I could get a bit more information on this place, but... No! My boy! I'd lost it for the first time ever. I didn't even know you could do that. After walking for a while, I eventually find myself in a crater with a giant vortex above me. Finally, I've made it. It's all led to this. All I've got to do is just let it take... Wait, what did I do? Fellas, if this deletes my save, I'm gonna go fucking crazy. Thankfully, it never deleted it. I just needed to do everything again. I don't know what that ending was. I don't even know how it caused it. Maybe it was the scout. Maybe it was duplicate me. I don't really know. I can't lie. I was on edge knowing death was actually a real thing for once. When I finally made it back to the crater, I was ready to ascend. Whoa, this is crazy. Wow. This is insane. What the hell's going on? And I'd weirdly found myself back on Tutorial Island. Looking around, it recapped basically what I did in most of the game. And then I was hit with one of the best sequences I've ever witnessed in a video game. Where am I going? Oh, I'm in space? What? What the fuck is that? Wait. I can move? No way, no, that's crazy. Now, I was sitting at a campfire roasting marshmallows. The old man appears and tells me to go listen for the music. So I get my signal scope out, and I go round collecting instruments. The first one I found was actually Rebecca's guitar. I went out again and... Okay, Velspar, where are you little bastard? Oh no! Oh, leave me alone! I hate this thing! My soul nearly left my body at this very moment. It kept chasing me. I was terrified to go searching again. I eventually went around and found all the other instruments. They all had cool and unique scenarios relating to the character. My favourite one was the skeletons climbing each other to find a spaceship. Mr. Nomai, man, I apologise for doubting you about the moon. I've seen it. It's pretty great. Now that everyone was gathered, it was finally time. Yes, you can start. Oh, go on, Rebecca, play a little guitar for me. Come on, Feldspar, you little teaser, you gonna play for me now? This time, oh, he's actually doing it. Fellas, it's building something. Oh, I play a little drums, big fella. Now that we've made, what about the eye? Can you play for me? Oh, okay, he's gonna. What do you play? He plays the piano. Wait, is that a well? Am I gonna save the debt? this doesn't look good. Oh, what the? Ow! Ow! Yeah, we blew up the universe, but, you know, I guess that's the power of music. Or the aliens did it. Wait, did that bastard trick me? This is one of the best games I've played. I didn't expect that little song at the end to be so impactful. They've been guiding me through the solar system, and now they got to witness the end of it with me. That's it. It's over. You, me, we know everything now. The story, the game, this entire world is forever singed in our memory banks. We can't go back to the way things were, and we are now stuck with this one thing for the rest of our lives. Knowledge. I guess now that we've all made it to the end, at least we can all agree on one thing. We all hate this fish.